Hello, good evening once again. We're so glad to be with you in the second day of our spiritual journey in this recollection, Victory Over Virus. We're streaming live from the parish of Santa Teresa of Avila in Carles, Iloilo, and the whole Christian community is joining you in celebrating this Holy Week. And this is our simple way of sharing with you these thoughts and our journey as one Christian community beyond the borders. Wherever you are, we are all united in this one spirit. Kahapon po, pinagninilayan natin yung why, ang mga tanong po natin. Bakit nangyari sa atin ito? Why do good people die? No? Bakit maraming may sakit? And we reflected upon the three realities of the invisible, which would bring us fear. At the same time, it would lead us to a deeper faith, you know, in the God whom we do not see but we know is with us. The visible challenges us to do our own part. When being invisible is the call for humility, to be visible is the call to charity. But if those invisible people who may be the powerless in society would be involved when they will do their own part, and the powerful, the visible in our country would really be humble and to accept their own role and responsibility, it will be a wonderful and a meaningful journey for all of us. It is when the incredible would happen. And the incredible is a challenge for us, for unity, to be united in this moment. Now we will reflect on the waiting in our lives. Ang daming kanta po ng waiting. Ang air supply, di ba? I can wait forever, di ba? Ang Tagalog na kanta ni Willie Cruz, sana'y maghintay nang walang hanggan. Pero di ba, napakahirap, no? Mahirap maghintay nang walang hanggan. And when we reflect on this is also a moment of waiting for all of us. Nang in-announce po ng Presidente hanggang April 30 pa po, di ba parang napakatagal pa noon, maghihintay pa tayo ng ilang araw. But there is so much beauty in waiting. Kung tayo ay naghihintay, may naghihintay din po sa atin. Napakaganda ang sinabi ng isang author, no? Our heritage is not something that we stumble upon. It is just there, waiting to be explored, waiting to be discovered. Tatlong subtopics po ang i-reflect natin ngayon. Very common po ito. Time, talent, and treasure. Ang tatlong tipo sa buhay natin. So, when we talk of time, we reflect on the meaning, ang kahulugan ng time, the management, and the mission. So, when you talk about time, ano ba talagang oras? Napakaganda po ng sinabi ni Saint Augustine. Sabi niya, kung hindi niyo ko tatanungin, alam ko kung ano ang time. Pero kung tatanungin niyo ako, hindi ko na alam. And that's really very true. Can you tell the exact time? Hindi po. Kasi it's motion in an irreversible manner. You cannot really tell the exact time. Kasi oras na hindi mo na siya mapunggan, hindi natin mapipigilan. Kaya bawat siglo, bawat time po is paalala po sa atin na talagang tumatanda na po tayo. And we cannot stop that we are growing old. And we should not deny that. Kung minsan kasi very conscious tayo sa ating age. No? Hindi natin gustong malaman kung ano ng age natin. There was a time na na-invite po ako sa isang birthday party. Tapos yung nag-invite sa akin po, 60 years old. Tapos tinanong ko siya. Sabi ko, nanay, ilang taon na po ba kayo? Sabi niya, Father, 60 na po. Sabi ko talaga, 60? You don't look like 60. Ay tawang-tawa naman siya. Sabi ko, you look like 59. Ay parang dapukan niya ako eh. Sabi niya, akala ko kung ano talaga, isang taon lang pala yung diferensya. We become so conscious of our age, but this is one reality na hindi po natin ma-deny na tumatanda tayo sa bawat oras at hindi na natin pwedeng ibabalik. Time is moving on. Kaya, sabi nga nila, no, it's not It's how you live your life. No, it's not so much how long you live, it's how you live your life and what you leave behind that matters most. As we reflect on time, we are invited to live our lives to the fullest. And when we look upon time, we must accept the fact that we are on a journey. And in this moment of history, this will really be a memorable occasion, a moment for all of us. Maraming mga bagay-bagay na hindi natin akalain na mangyayari po sa atin. And now, we confront the reality of time in our lives. Kaya, kung minsan may isa kong kakilala na parang conscious siya sa looks niya. Tapos tinanong niya yung asawa niya. Sabi niya, sweetheart, sa tingin mo, ilang taon na ako? Sabi ng asawa niya, alam mo, sweetheart, pag nakatalikod ka, parang 15 years old ka. Pag tumagilid ka, parang 20. Pag humarap ka, 25. I-total mo lahat yan, you look like 60. Kaya, minsan, di ba? Naiinis tayo pag sasabihin na tumatanda na tayo. But that is what time is all about. Hindi natin mapipigilan ang oras. We look at time differently. Why do we look at time differently? Tamang-tama po si Einstein, ang theory ng relativity, di ba? Anong sabi niya sa theory ng relativity? Pag yung kasama mo is mahal na mahal mo, yung isang araw parang isang minuto lang yan eh. Pero pag kasama mo yung kaaway mo, ay talagang yung isang minuto parang isang taon. Why? Because you do not enjoy. I thought about waiting because this is how we look at time. We experience time differently. Yung oras para sa iyo, posibleng hindi ko naranasan sa buhay ko. Bakit po? Sabi nga ng isang author, napakaganda ng sinabi ng isang author, for those who wait, time is too long. Di ba? Naghihintay ka eh. For those who enjoy, time is too short. Kasi nag-enjoy ka eh, napaka-iksi. For those who suffer, time is too slow. Pag may sakit ka, napakabagal ng panahon. But for those who fear, time is too fast. Di ba? Ang bilis mo tumakbo pag hahabulin ka ng aso. No? But for those who love, time is eternity. Di ba? Kaya napakaganda na when we reflect upon time, time is a gift of God for all of us. And yesterday we talked about the incarnation, di ba? That God entered time and history. God who is eternal has now become a part of our history. Kaya nga, yung tatanungin ko kayo, sinong matanda? Si Jesus o si John the Baptist? Napakahirap sagutin yun, di ba? Kasi, when we look back at the Annunciation, anong sabi kay Mary? Di ba? Yung cousin mo si Elizabeth. He has a child in her womb. He's pregnant for 6 months. Sino doon? Si John the Baptist, di ba? So, sinong mas matanda? O di ba, sasabihin natin na, ay si John the Baptist, 6 months na matanda si John the Baptist kaysa kay Jesus. In the first chapter of the Gospel of John, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Wala pa si John the Baptist, andyan na yung Diyos, andyan na si Jesus. Kaya, dalawang sagot. No? Jesus as God, mas nauna siya. But Jesus as a human being, ay mas matanda si John the Baptist sa kanya. This is the greatest gift of God to humanity, that God became a part of our history. Kaya when we look at it, we look at time differently. No? May napakagandang distinction ng time. This is what they call, one would say, the chronos, the chronological way of looking at time. Ano ibig sabihin? It's about exactness. Na on the dot tayo. Pag sinabi namin sa iyo na 6:15 tayo magsa-start ng live streaming natin, minsan 6:12, 6:13, andyan na tayo. It's about exactness. Pero may isang time na iba. Kung minsan, ganun tayo ang Filipino. It's not about exactness. No? But it's more about the biblical time. Bakit ko sinabi ito? Kung minsan magagalit tayo sa Pinoy, ano? Kasi we have the Filipino time. But I tell you, the Filipino time is not the worst time. Bakit po? Sabi nila, the Europeans come before the time. The Americans come on time. The Filipinos come after the time. While the Indians do not come at all. Di ba mas malala yun? Pag in-Indian ka, di ba? Galit na galit ka sa Indian eh. Buti tayo, late lang tayo. Pero alam nyo, there is so much beauty in the Filipino time. It's not about exactness. Because it's more of the biblical time. No? Di ba yung kanta natin? It's a time of joy, a time of tears, a time of sharing the gifts we have. S.M. Schumann. Ay, ano sa akin, hindi pala yun. Kala ko, ibang kanta na yun. It's about the time na, yun ang God's time. Na sa mga, sa mga Europeans, sa mga Americans, most especially in the first world countries, pag ang mga Japanese magsasabi na ang train ay aalis ng 9 o'clock, talagang on the dot, 9 o'clock, aalis po yan. There was one column nga sa Philippine Daily Inquirer yata, sinong columnist yun, that he experienced really firsthand how the Japanese would value the time. Kasi sumakasakay siya sa train, tapos may isang passenger na nagmamakaawa sa officer ng train. Anong case niya? Kung pwedeng hintayin ng parang 2 minutes, yung kaibigan niya na malilate ng 2 minutes, ay alis na yung train. At tapos, sabi ng officer, hindi ako makasagot niyan. You have to tell the passengers that you will be delayed because of you. And you know, as he was arguing and pleading his cause with the officer, dumating yung friend niya. Ganon sila ka-conscious sa time nila. That is chronological. Chronological yun ang pananaw natin ng time. Kaya, sasabihin ng mga Amerikano na lalabas ang bus ng 10 a.m., lalabas yan. May pasahero man yan o kung wala. Pero tayong mga Filipino, kailan aalis yung tricycle? Kung kailan mapupuno? Kung hindi mapupuno yan, hindi aalis yan. Anong oras yung meeting natin? Pagkatapos po ng lunch. Pag magla-lunch ka ng 3 o'clock, 3:15 yung meeting mo. No? Kaya, it's not about exactness, but it's more about the biblical time. No? It's about God's time, sabi nga nila. Kaya napakatumpak yung kantang Pagdating ng Panahon. Kailan ka mag-aasawa? Hindi mo sasabihin na next year, sigurado ka ba? No? Sasabihin mo pagdating ng panahon, when the right moment comes. That is why in His time. No? Kaya, ang meaning ng time is mahalaga po. Kasi oftentimes, we take for granted the gift of time that the Lord has given all of us. When we talk of time management, actually time management is a misnomer. Why? Because you do not manage time, you manage yourself. Kaya sasabihin mong time management lang yan, ibig sabihin it's self-management. Kasi hindi mo talaga mapigilan yung time eh. No, dire-diretso yan. So you have to manage yourself. And ang napakalungkot is that we take for granted the time that na ibinigay sa atin. One example. For example, what if the bank will say to you, in your bank account, you have 86,400 pesos in your bank account. But at the end of the day, ang hindi mo magagastos, mag-auto-debit yan. Ibig sabihin, babalik ka sa zero. Anong gagawin mo? May 86,400 ka. Di ba dapat gagastusin mo? May gagastusin mo ng tama. Hindi pwede na iiwanan mo lang. Hindi pwede na you waste that 86,400 pesos na andyan sa bank account mo. Bakit 86,400? Because that's how many seconds we have in the whole day. Try divide 60 seconds, 1 minute. 1 minute equals 1 hour is 360 seconds. You multiply it by 24, That's 86,400 seconds. When you waste your time, you lose that. Parang ganun. Na may pera ka sa bangko, tapos hindi mo siya ginastos. You did not spend. Hindi mo siya ginamit. And you lose it on the process. Kaya when you talk of time management, mahalaga po yan. Kasi how we would act, how we would decide on how we would spend our time is really very crucial sa buhay natin. Why? Because it would depend on our hierarchy of values. Ano ibig sabihin? Ano bang mahalaga sa'yo? Because kung ano ang mahalaga sa'yo, dapat diyan nabubuhos yung oras mo. Kasi yan ang mahalaga sa'yo eh. Di ba? May isang company, ewan ko, Hard Rock Cafe yata, isang international company, na yung values ko nila is ganito. Ang priorities nila is ganito. Ang unang priority nila is health. The second is family. Third is work. Take notice na para sa kanila, third lang yung work. Para sa kanila, sa company. Bakit po? Kasi para sa kanila, kahit gusto pang magtrabaho, may sakit ka, hindi ka pwedeng magtrabaho. Kahit na gusto mong magtrabaho, kung nag-give birth yung asawa mo, kung nagkasakit yung panganay mo, pag namatay yung parents mo. Kaya para sa kanila, klarong-klaro yun na health, family, and work. Ewan ko if you share that hierarchy. If you share that hierarchy. Kasi ako, I share in that hierarchy. In that priority. Kasi, bakit? Kung nagsishare ka ng priority na yan, dapat yung oras natin, ibubuhos natin sa priority natin. At ang hindi, at yung taliwas sa priority natin, hindi dapat natin gagawin. If it's not for the good of your health, dapat hindi mo gagawin yun, di ba? If it's not for your family, hindi mo gagawin yun. If it's not for your work, hindi mo gagawin yun. Kasi taliwas siya eh. You know what? You can just imagine the time that this moment has given us. Marami tayong oras. Huwag mong sasabihin wala kang time na mag-exercise. If you really are concerned with your health. You know, personally, tuwang-tuwa ako, parang nag-succeed ako dyan eh. I spend time, kasi yung sa YouTube may walking eh. I spend 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes walking every day. Yung iba nag-garden, di ba? No? Kasi it's for your health. You eat healthy food. And I believe we are more conscious right now. Na tama, dapat ang immune system natin. Kasi mahalaga yung health natin. Family. Diba? Yung family natin, we will find time to really share these precious moments with our family. Ang work, give up natin. Kasi, no, saan walang opportunity. But of course, yung mga nurses ang sa frontliners natin, andun talaga sila. Bakit ko sinabi ito? Kasi may napakagandang diagram na dapat ma-distinguish natin yung urgent and important. Kasi parang magkapareho yan, pero hindi eh. Yung urgent is, tumatawag siya na aksyonan mo siya kaagad, pero hindi naman siya important. May mga bagay-bagay na hindi siya urgent, hindi rin siya important. May mga bagay na urgent at important. Mayroong mga bagay na hindi urgent, pero important. Napakagandang distinction yan eh. Kasi, kung minsan, may mga bagay-bagay na urgent and important. For example, may babayaran kang ganito, may assignment kang ganito. Ang urgent yan and important. Kaya kung minsan, ang napakahirap yan is that palagi kang tensionado ka kasi urgent ka. Dapat gagawin mo kaagad eh. Ay kung hindi, mapuputulan ka ng kuryente, no? Magbabounce yung check-in mo, ng ganon, no? Mayroong urgent, pero hindi important. Minsan text message, na parang tut-tut-tut, sasabihin sa'yo, oh, open me. No? Minsan may telepono dyan, no? Magre-ring ang telepono mo, tapos sasagutin mo, pwede mag-phone call. No? Hindi naman siya talaga important. May mga bagay-bagay na hindi siya urgent, pero important siya. That is why you plan things. Importante yung holiday with your family, hindi siya urgent. Oh, sige, December, pupunta tayo sa ganito. So ngayon, parang hindi natin magawa yan, ano? Pero alam ko, may mga plans na kayo. Pag matapos lang tong virus na to, ay talagang pupunta tayo sa ganito. Magpapa-beach tayo, punta tayo sa Carles, kasi ang daming mga beaches doon na maganda. At welcome na welcome kayo dito, magpupunta kayo dito. Di ba? So that is how we manage time. Kung paano natin i-manage yung oras natin. Kaya magtatanong din tayo, may mga ginagawa ba tayo na taliwas sa ating mga priority? Ibig sabihin, kung magtatanong ka, mag-inuman kami doon sa mga kaibigan ko, sa kapitbahay ko. Ay tatanungin mo, health yung important mo. Do you think it will contribute to your good health? Kung family yung pangalawa mo, bakit hindi ka sumama dito sa family mo? Diba? Our choices, when you talk of time, when you talk of management, we do not manage time. We manage ourselves. At ang mga desisyon po natin ay mahalaga po. And this is an opportune time for all of us. The Lord has given us all of these moments to really look upon our relationships, our priorities in life, and to do all of these things na kung minsan hindi natin magagawa. Di ba kung minsan reklamo tayo, Lunes na naman, pasok na naman, araw-araw, Sabado at Linggo walang pasok you have so many things to do. So we talk about meaning of time, management of time. Now we talk about our mission. Because we just have one life to live. Napakaganda nga ng sinabi ni Mark Twain, di ba? There are two important days in the life of the person. One is the day you were born, and the second is the day you knew why. Importante yung birthday natin. Kasi yun, God wanted to affirm us, you are a human being. Pero how about that day when you knew why? Bakit ka dito sa mundo? Because we are not created by chance but by God's design. God has a purpose for all of us. Have you fulfilled your mission? Yan ang napakalaking tanong. And you can just imagine the many doctors who have died. And they did not die in vain. They died for a cause worth living for. Na we are true, they are true to their mission up to their last breath. Di ba nakakaingit yun At yan ang tanong sa atin, no? Are we faithful to our mission, to our calling? Kasi may plano ang Diyos kung bakit nandito tayo sa mundo. At habang buhay pa tayo, no? Maybe we haven't fulfilled our mission yet. Alam mo, being at the hospital, ito talaga yung valuable lesson na natutunan ko na life really is so short. Napakaiksi ng buhay. Na kung minsan hindi mo alam, no? Kung kailan ka mamamatay. Kaya to humble yourself before the Lord is a moment for us to really look upon our powerlessness as an opportunity to cling to God who is the source of our strength. Kaya when you are true to your mission, no, there lies fulfillment. Because life is too short, you don't waste your time in things that are not important. Kasi hindi ko pa alam kung buhay ka bukas And tapos you can just imagine, you spend your life hating others. Oh, come on. You will sleep tonight with so much resentment within your heart. Napakaganda ng sinabi ng isang author, no? Angels fly not because they have wings. They fly because they don't have burdens at their backs. Di ba? Life is too short to hate others. So let go of those stress in your life. All of those burdens that would really, I would say, na parang hihilain ka pababa. Because there is so much to value in life. That is why God has given us this gift of time. Now, why we really spend it well. We make the most out of this moment. Na it's God's way of telling all of us that may mga bagay-bagay na kung minsan we take for granted. Not ganun, very valuable na. You know, last April 4, nag-celebrate po ako ng 30 years in the priesthood. Matanda na po ako. It's a reminder for all of us. Last year, nag-usap kami ng mga klase ko kasi apat kami from Iloilo na na-ordain si Father Maki Sortido. Paris Priest siya ngayon ng San Miguel, si Father Emmanuel Toberada. Director siya ngayon ng St. Catherine sa Leon. Then Father Titos Prudente, Paris Priest siya ngayon ng Montfort sa Dumangas. Nag-usap-usap kami. Pumunta kaming Boracay kasi yung Paris Priest doon si Father Joe Relente, kaklase namin. So sabi namin, mag-celebrate tayo ng 30th natin. So teka nga, parang hindi naman sinaselebrate yung 30 years eh. Kasi di ba sinaselebrate lang 25, silver. Yung 40 is ruby. No? Tapos yung 50 is golden. Yung 60 is diamond. Eh bakit namin isa-celebrate yung 30? Si-celebrate namin ng 30 kasi hindi kami sigurado kung aabot pa kami ng 40. May sakit na kami. No, di ba? No, kaya you celebrate every moment. No? Alam mo, siguro napakamalas kong tao. Bakit po? When I celebrated my 50th year as a human being, golden ko po, nagka-Yolanda. Ngayon, 30 years in the priesthood, ay, andyan naman si Corona. At nag-celebrate ako ng Christmas, dito si Ursula. Napakamalas ko yan. But you know, there is so much to celebrate in life beyond the numbers. So, this is what time really is all about. That the meaning of time is, mahirap po natin ma-define. But we just have to live every moment. Time management, it's how we manage ourselves. And the mission, are we true to our mission? Okay? So that is about time. Now we talk about talent. You know, everyone is good at something. Bawat tao, may kagalingan talaga yan. Walang tao na walang gift galing sa Panginoon. Walang tao na walang talent. Kaya may isang tao, when he was uttered into his room in heaven, nung namatay na siya, dinala siya sa isang room. Tapos, pinakita sa kanya ng angel. At sabi sa kanya, yan yung mga gifts na natanggap mo. Daming mga open gifts. O sabi niya, natanggap ko yan when I was on earth. Tungtuwa siya kasi parang yung mga gift niya of the arts maybe, the gift of the gab, yung mga skills niya, magaling siya magluto, magaling siya sa flower arrangement, all of these things. Sabi niya, natanggap ko yan. But what puzzled him is that triple the amount of the open gifts were the unopened ones. Mas maraming mga gifts na hindi nabuksan. So tinanong niya ng angel, sabi niya, kaninong mga gifts ito? And sabi ng angel, they are yours. Eh sabi niya, bakit hindi ko natanggap? Sabi ng angel, kasi you did not open them. Kaya napakaganda ng sabi ni Hafiz there are so many gifts still unopened from your birthday. There are so many handcrafted presents that has been given to you. Whatever is yours, whatever is mine, they are yours. There are so many gifts, my dear, still unopened from your birthday. So, every moment we are born into this world, God is telling us, you are never without a gift. Lahat tayo mayroong gift galing sa Panginoon. Kaya, when we talk about this, let's reflect on three realities: the core, the character, and the choices. Anong ibig sabihin ng the core? Yung pinaka-center ng buhay, yung pinaka-ituturan. What makes you a human person? What makes you unique as an individual? Kaya nga sabi ni Oprah Winfrey, sabi niya, we must max out our humanity. Kasi ang bawat tao ay may kanya-kanyang worth as a person. That's your core. And it could not be taken away from you. That is what makes us unique as an individual, di ba? Kasi distinct tayo sa isa't isa We have our own identity as a human being. Meron kang talent na wala naman yung iba, meron sila na wala ka rin. But that's what life is all about. You can never have it all. No? Because that is our own identity. Di ba sabi nga nila, di ba? napakaraming mga slogan yung mga tao sa military, no, no retreat, no surrender. Mga army yan, mga navy, no? No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain. Pero talo talaga sila sa security guard. Eh. No ID, no entry. O diba? Ay, sa ID. Bakit? Kung titingnan ba ng security guard yung ID mo, tinitingnan niya kung pogi ka o hindi? Hindi naman eh. Ang importante sa security guard is magkatugma yung picture mo sa ID mo at sa mukha mo. Because that's your own identity. Kaya may kanya-kanyang mga talents tayo. That is the core of our person. And you know, at this moment in time, it's so nice to really discover your talents. Na kung minsan hindi pa natin nabuksan sa ating sarili. Na siguro very busy ka sa mga bagay-bagay. Na kung minsan nakalimutan mo na mayroon ka palang gift na ganyan. Bakit ko sinabi yan? Kasi na-experience ko yan these days. Na alam nyo, I have written already 8 books. Mga maliliit na libro. You know, I first wrote The Child, The Wishes, and The Wonder, then From Dusk to Dawn, Wings to Fly, Presence, Passion, and Person, then Christmas Crosstalk, Christmas Joys and Choruses, Being, Living, Believing, then the last is The Powerful, The Powerful, The Powerless, and The Empowered. Kasama ko yung kapatid ko na si Jerome, at yung recording engineer namin na si Father Amparo, Enteng Amparo, produced those CDs. At the last book that I have written was, ewan ko, siguro more than 8 years ago pa. 8 years ago. You can just imagine. Hindi na ako nakasulat ng isang libro. Pero in this quarantine period, natapos ko po yung isang libro po. I was able to write the book that I should have written beforehand. It's Begin With Me. It's about starting with the self. Kasi I reflected on myself eh. And I could not believe that I was able to finish it in 6 days. 6 days po. More than 11,000 words. 20 reflections. And I said, Lord, thank you for this moment. No? I was able to rediscover once again the gift of being able to be a storyteller. At yung recollection niya ito, tawa nga kami ni Father Ray Ray, sabi niya, hindi niya akalain na I was able to put this up. I started preparing for this last Friday lang actually. No, nag-decide ako sa ngayon kasi, Father Ray, sabi ko, mag-recollection kaya tayo. Sabi niyo, Father, sige, sabi ko, i-post natin. So, I posted it para talagang mapilit ako. No? And I was able to do it, thanks be to God, and hopefully, tuloy-tuloy na ito. But my point is, we all have our gifts from God. And it's not for us. At tingnan mo ngayon, yung mga artist natin, yung mga magaling nating kumanta. Minsan mahal-mahal yung bayad natin sa kanya, but now, they're singing for free. Why? Because our gifts are not for us. It's to be shared with others. Because when we share, we do not lose anything. Actually, we gain more. Kasi kung minsan ganyan yung selfishness natin eh. Akala natin, pag mag-share tayo, mawawalan tayo. No. Ang lahat ng galing sa Panginoon. And it's just about passing it on. It's about just sharing those things with others. So, we reflect on who we are as a person. To be happy with who we are. Kasi kung minsan, di ba, what makes our life miserable is this. We often compare ourselves with others. Anong sabi ni Mother Teresa of Calcutta? If you compare yourself with others, two possible things could happen to you. If you are better than others, you will become so proud. If others are better than you will become inferior. Sabi ng Desiderata, do not compare yourself with others because you will become vain and bitter. Because for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourselves. You have your own core as a person, your dignity as a human being, and nobody could take it away from you. It's God's gift to you. So you just have to be happy and celebrate who you are as a person. Kung minsan, di ba, mga parents, kinukompare natin yung mga anak natin sa isa't isa, kinukompare natin yung mga anak natin sa kapitbahay natin. Alam niyo, may isang tatay na talagang kinukumpare niya yung anak niya. Tinawag niya, alam mo anak, talagang, bakit parang napakahina ng utak mo na yan? Sabi niya, hindi kagaya ni Johnny sa kapitbahay natin, ang taas-taas ng grades mo, napakababa ng grades mo. Sabi nung anak niya, tatay, alam mo, huwag kang lang padalos-dalos tatay, bago ka magsalita, mag-reflect ka muna kung anong sinasabi mo. Kasi napaka-unfair mo tatay eh. Bakit? Bakit mo ako i-compare kay Johnny? Matalino ang tatay noon. O diba? Ay talagang parang sasampalin siya ng tatay niya eh. No? Kung minsan, magbabalik sa atin eh. Why would you compare your child with another human being? Because each and every child is a masterpiece from God. So that is our core as a human person. Then the character. The character. Diba? Sinabi ko kahapon. Imagine yung mga Hapon, ano? How, I've been to Kyoto, to Osaka, to other parts of Japan. At alam mo, nung pumunta ako doon, nakita ko yung isang grocery store doon, na talagang napakalaking grocery store, pero wala masyadong nagbabantay. Parang 4 lang yata sila eh. At tapos may naka-display sa sidewalk, ay wala talagang nagbabantay. Sabi ko, kung sa Iloilo to, sa JM Basa to, at walang nagbabantay, ubos na po. Kasi kung hahabulin ka talaga, hindi ka talaga pwedeng, they can never catch up on you. Pero wala. May isang tao doon na, doon siya kumuha, talagang dinala pa niya. This is, sabi ni Gata, sabi niya, there are two gifts, greatest gifts we can give our children. One is roots, the other is wings. Roots, they have to be grounded in the essentials of life. Ibig sabihin yung pagkatao nila, yung character, yung value formation nila. Ang masaklap sa roots is that hindi mo sila makikita. There was once a farmer na nagplant siya ng fern at saka nung bamboo. At ang nangyari isang fern, talagang bilis niyang tumaas. Nasa fern siya eh. Lumaki siya kaagad. Parang ganon. Yung bamboo wala. More than a month, parang hindi gumagalaw. Galit na galit yung farmer. Ay sabi niya, bakit ko pa tinanim to? Parang wala siya. Did not grow an inch. Sabi niya, bukas, puputulin ko na to. But as she was saying it, ay talagang hindi niyang bumilis talaga. At nag-grow yung bamboo na yun. At talagang na-overtake niya pa yung fern. And when the storm came, anong nangyari? Ay talagang wala yung fern. Ruined to the ground. But the bamboo was standing still. Why? Because in that moment, na hindi mo makita yung growth niya, it was building its roots. That is why it's so grounded. Ganun din. Kaya napakalaga yung mga teachers natin sa daycare, sa elementary. Napakalaga po ng role nila. Kasi dyan talaga sa formative years ng mga bata na ganun sila. It's just the being rooted yung mga anak. Kaya nga, tayong mga Pilipino, napakalungkot is this. We give tests. Sa Japan, hindi masyado eh. No, wala silang test from kinder to grade 3. Wala. They're given exams and homework when they reach the age of 10 or grade 4. Sa atin, iba eh. Bago ka pumasok, ay talagang battery of test. Bago ka ma-admitted. Tapos pag grade 2 ang anak mo, walang honor, ay talagang aawayin mo yung principal. Kaya matatalino tayo. Pero look at our character. Kaya nga, napakasaklat nung sinabi ng isang nag-post yata sa social media, sabi niya, ay bakit kung ang edukasyon yung solusyon sa problema ng Pilipinas, ay bakit ang maraming magnanakaw, mga matatalino? Diba? Kasi there's a lot of difference between magaling and matino. Magaling ka, pero hindi ka matino. Matalino ka, pero hindi ka matino. Matino ka, pero hindi ka naman magaling. Walang-wala din yun eh. Pero dapat magaling ka at matino ka talaga. Ibig sabihin, you are intelligent and you have that character. Yan, tingnan mo kung minsan, mga nangyayari sa bansa natin, napakasaklap, di ba? Compared to other countries, sabi nga nila, there was a time when there was a great calamity, tapos parang napakatinding bagyo all throughout the world, and they have to build the roads. Ay, they were discussing among themselves kung paano nila na-build yung roads. Ay, yung sabi ng mga German, sabi niya, we built our roads, we repaired our roads, we repaired the destroyed roads in 10 days. Eh, sabi ng mga Amerikano, sa amin, 6 days lang. Sabi ng mga Hapon, sa amin, 4 days na repair namin ang na-destroy na mga roads. Sabi ng Pilipino, sabi niya, ang sa amin, hindi pa na-destroy, nire-repair na namin. Diba? May foresight yung mga Pilipino talaga eh. And it will define our character, who we are. Kasi pwede tayong matatalino tayo, pero yung katalinuhan natin ay gagawin natin para sa kasamaan. Ang daming budol-budol sa Pilipinas. Ilang beses na ako talaga na-victimize kasi kaming mga pare, ang dali namin lukuhin eh. Kaya kung hindi pa nila kami maluluko, sino pang lulukuhin nila? No? Because there was a Japanese who went to the Philippines nung punta siya ng Pilipinas. Pauwi na siya. Nung pauwi siya, sumakay siya sa taxi, Pinoy yung driver. Tapos he was so proud of Japan. Sabi niya, Japan is much, much better than the Philippines. Tahimik lang yung driver. Tapos nung naglalakbay sila, nag-overtake yung isang sasakyan. Sabi ng Japanese, oh, Toyota, very fast, made in Japan. Sabi ng driver, ang yapang naman ng mga puno to. After, sa kalagitnaan na sila, overtake na naman. Sabi niya, Mitsubishi, very fast, made in Japan. Sabi ng Pinoy driver, may araw pa rin, tingnan natin. Nung malapit na sila, overtake naman, Honda, very fast, made in Japan. Sabi ng Pilipino, oh, dito na tayo, sir. Hanggang na sila sa airport. Eh, sabi ng Japanese, how much will I pay you? Sabi niya, 10,000 pesos. Sabi ng Hapon, very expensive. Sabi niya, meter, very fast, made in the Philippines. Kaya, di ba? Kung minsan ganun tayo, matatalino tayo. Pero pag wala kang karakter, ay napakahirap talaga. Magaling ka, pero hindi ka mabait. Napakalungkot yan. Kaya, with the core, with the character comes our choices. Why? Because there's one great gift that God has given us. It's the gift of freedom. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Sabi tayo na buenas lang yan. So sabi ni Seneca, di ba? Sabi niya, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. Success is when opportunity meets preparation. Ang opportunity is hindi natin makontrol, pero ang preparation makontrol natin. But when this opportunity meets that preparation, you will become successful as a person. For example, kung minsan, di ba, naghahanap ka ng trabaho, may eligibility ka, may eligible ka, pero walang bakante. Ibig sabihin, eligible ka, walang bakante. May bakante, pero hindi ka eligible, so wala ka ling trabaho. But time will come na ang bakante, eligible ka. That is why opportunity meets preparation. Pero kung minsan kasi, yung luck is, we take it too much eh. Bakit? Kasi kung minsan nakala natin ang buhay, pag buenas-buenas lang, kaya ang dami nating tumataya sa loto kasi gusto nating yumaman. Malapit na bilyon na yung, dyan mo makikita, pumipila talaga tayo. Alam niyo ba yung ratio na mananalo tayo sa loto? I've read it somewhere, is 1 to 14 million. Yun ang chances na mananalo tayo sa loto. Ilang numbers yun? 45? 6 pupunin? Ibig sabihin, there's a greater possibility na tamaan ka ng kidlat kaysa sa mananalo ka sa loto. You can just imagine, are you willing to bear the odds? No? Di ba? So, sasabihin natin, talagang buenas yung pamilya natin. Sino kilala nyo na naging mayaman siya dahil gambler siya? Can you count it with your fingers? Sabihin mo, mayaman yan dahil ganon. Alam mo, statistics would show na maraming mga nanalo sa loto na hindi naging successful. And you can Google that. So napakaraming mga tao. May isang tao na sabi niya, if you want to advise, kasi ang nangyari is yung life na mas worse pa before. Kinasuhan siya, ang anak niya nagka-drugs, iniwanan siya ng asawa niya, may tinangay na pera niya. Anong ma-advise mo sa mga tao? Sabi niya, I wish I could have torn the ticket. Sana kinunit ko na lang yung ticket na yun. Our choices matter. Kaya ang sabi kay Harry Potter, di ba? Sa movie na Deathly Hallows siya tayo. Harry, it's our choices, not our abilities that will define who you are. Kaya as parents, no, we cannot really be in total control with our children. We give them roots, yes, we choose for them, but time will come when we have to give them wings and they will fly. Lilipad na yan. Hindi na yan mananatili sa bahay niyo. May barkada na sila, magkaasawa na sila, wala na. Kaya yung moments na andyan sila, take care of your children and lead them to make good choices, because time will come when they have to choose on their own. You will not choose for them anymore. Di ba yung common na joke, na naalala nyo yung common na joke na yun? Na parang yung mga anak ng tatay diktador eh. He would always, parang para sa kanya, there are just two rules in the house. Rule number 1, the father is always right. Rule number 2, if the father is wrong, go back to rule number 1. Ibig sabihin, father is always right. Yung parang darating ka sa gabi, tapos sasabihin, saan ka nanggaling? Tapos hindi ka sasagot. Saan ka nanggaling? Sagot. Andun tayo, sasagot ka na. Parang wala kang pupuntahan. So grabe talaga siya, stricto. The time came when, yung parang, matanda na yung mga anak niya, college na, talagang, sasagot na talaga sa kanya. Talagang nag-argue sa kanya. So, diktator pa rin tatay, sabi ng anak niya, when we were young, you chose for us. Now that we are old, we have to choose for ourselves. So, yan mo na kami. No? Sabi niya, choices. Kung anong gusto ko, yan ang masusunod. Sabi nung bata, hindi bala ka. Sabi niya sa anak niya, kumuha ka nga ng mainom. Sabi niya, juice or soft drinks. Soft drinks, sabi niya, Pepsi or Coke. Pepsi. Sabi ng bata, regular or diet. Regular. Sabi niya, bottled or can. Sabi niya, bottled. 8 ounces or 12 ounces. 12 ounces. Sabi niya, may straw o wala. Sabi niya, wawalisin kita dyan mamaya. Sabi niya, tambo or ting-ting. Kumuha ka na nga ng tubig. Sabi niya, mineral or distilled. Mineral. Sabi niya, hot or cold. Hayop kang bata ka. Sabi niya, baboy or baka. Peste kang anak ka. Sabi niya, ipis or gagamba. Laya, sabi ng anak, ngayon na or bukas pa. Ngayon na, sabi niya, hatid mo ako, hindi. Parang inis na inis ng tatay. Sabi niya, layas, sugod ka ron, hindi mo na ako pagkatawgon nga imo amay. Ang balsang bata, oo, malakat na kutsoy. Choices. That is why we have our own talents. The Lord has given all of us. That is why we have that capacity, to make those decisions in our life. I could not forget when I was invited to give a talk to a group of young students. Parang graduate na lang ng high school, magka-college sila. Dalawa kaming speaker. One came from Manila, ako dito local. And we talked about yung mga skills nila, about self-discovery. And I could not forget, in the open forum, may isang bata na nagtanong sa akin. Sabi niya, Father, paano malaman na yan yung calling mo, yung vocation mo? Sabi ko, anak, 3 M lang ang guide mo. Sa amin sa Ilonggo, diin ka maayo. Where are you good at? Maayo. Ibig sabihin, magaling ka bang kumanta? Magaling ka ba sa computer? Magaling ka sa design? Do you want media? Saan ka magaling? It would separate you from the rest. Anong mga skills mo, anong mga talent mo? That's a way of knowing kung ano yung calling mo. Because may mga gifts ka na wala sa iba. That's 1 M. Saan ka magaling? Hindi ka maayo. Second M is diin ka malipayon, saan ka masaya. Saan ka masaya? Ibig sabihin na masaya ka. No? Ibig sabihin you find joy in doing it. Ibig sabihin, no, parang do not count the time. No? You enter into a time zone na parang wala na. Parang separated ka na sa mundo. Parang cloud 9 ka na pala because you love what you are doing. Diba sinasabi nila, you have to love your work because when you love your work, you don't have to work for a day. Why? Because work becomes play. Diba? Saan ka masaya? Kasi that joy, hindi mo pwedeng i-dictate yan eh. Kaya yung mga courses natin, now, do you find meaning in whatever you are doing? Do you find joy in whatever you are doing? Saan ka magaling? Saan ka masaya? The third M is may kahulugan, makahulugan. Where is meaning? Yung sinabi ko kahapon, he who can live with why could bear with anyhow. Kung may meaning yan, may why ikaw, lahat ng mga paghihirap yan, kayang-kaya mo yan. No? When I was studying at the UP College of Music, alam mo pala yung mga piano na mga estudyante, mga piano students, they have to practice. Sabi nga nila kung minsan at least 3 hours a day. No? Practice lang yan kasi they have to memorize the piece. Ay, ang haba-haba nun. No? And you do not work, you don't love, you do not find meaning. Eh talagang napakahirap na gagawin yun. No? When I was learning classical guitar, oh my God, talagang sakit-sakitan ng daliri mo. But you just have to do it. Why? Because you found meaning in it. Kaya, that's our choices. Kaya when you talk about talents, you reflect on the core, your character, and your choices. And last na lang ito, our treasures. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be. Yung mga treasures natin. At alam po natin ngayon, talagang napakahirap ng sitwasyon natin. So nag-aaway-away na, kasi wala talaga tayong marami sa atin na wala talagang savings. No? Kahit nga kami dito sa parokya eh. No? Mag-Father Ryan, may pera pa ba tayo? Sabi niya, Father, talagang gipit na. Sabi ko, may awa ang Panginoon. No? Because it would really matter. No? And when you talk of our treasures, we talk about our resources, we talk about our possessions, we talk about our money, na kung minsan, ang maling pag-intindi po natin is that parang money is evil. No? But no, it's not. Money has been written so many times in the Bible. Eh, bakit may thou shall not kill? Because we have the right to private property. When talk of money, first we learn, we earn, and we discern. We learn. Alam niyo po, ang mayroong education na hindi po natin natutunan sa school. We have academic education, we have professional education, but we don't have financial education. Anong ibig sabihin? That as parents, we should teach our children to value money, to understand what money is all about. Bakit? Kasi di ba mga parents, pinaghirapan niyo yan. Na-convey niyo ba sa mga anak niyo na, anak, pinaghirapan ko namin yan. Yung mga overseas workers natin, kawawa sila. At alam mo, money is not bad in itself. The love of money is the root of all evil. Na kung hindi na siya sa priority natin. Di ba gastos na gastos tayo pag magkasakit tayo because priority is the health. Magkasakit ang anak mo, mag-uutang ka. Kasi priority mo yung family mo. Andun yan sa baba yung money na yan. Pero sabi nga nila, what's wonderful about money is that he's a good servant, but a bad master. Bad master siya. Ibig sabihin, money is there at our disposal. Ibig sabihin, money is not good or evil, it's amoral. The way you would use money will define who you are as a person. Take for example, if you try na makikilala yung isang tao, all you have to do is titingnan, kung ano ang income niya at expenses niya. You try it. It will reveal who you are. Sa income at expenses mo lang. For example, ang income niya is salary niya na monthly, tapos income niya is 13th month pay niya, tapos nagka-income siya kasi nag-loan siya sa GSIS, kasi may dividend siya sa cooperative niya. So pag sabi mong nag-loan siya sa GSIS, ay, ano to? Government employee na to. Nag-loan siya sa Provident Fund. Uy, parang sa DepEd yan ah. Di ba? Makikilala mo siya eh. Makilala mo siya, babae o lalaki. Ay, suspending niya. Sasabihin niya, babayad siya ng utilities. Bibili siya ng underwear na Triumph or Victoria's Secret. Malaman mo siya kung babae siya o hindi, di ba? Hindi mo siya kilala. Pero you will have an idea the way that person would spend the money. Malalaman mo rin siya kung ano siya or corrupt. Kung ang income niya, kasi may ano nga siya, anong tinatawag na nila? SOP siya. Na may ibinigay siya sa kay ganito. No? Nanalo siya sa sabong. Kilala mo siya kung lalaki siya. Pero may isang tanong. Kilalanin niyo ito yung income niya at expenses niya. Income niya is nanggaling kay mami at kay daddy niya. Yung income niya, allowance niya. Tapos, yung salary niya na nagtrabaho siya sa Jollibee o sa McDonald's. Di ba? Binigay ni tita niya. So, yan ang income niya. So, may idea ka na, di ba? Tapos, expenses niya sa project niya. Tapos, expenses niya, nagbayad siya, nag-abuloy siya sa kanilang prayer group. Diba? Sabihin mo, oh, very religious to. Tapos sabihin mo, bumili siya ng brief. Diba? Sasabihin mo, lalaki kaya o babae ito? Sabihin mo, lalaki. Tapos bumili siya ng makeup sa Avon. Siguro malilito ka na kung ano siya. Kaya nga po, money reveals who we are. Dapat maintindihan natin yan. You have to learn that. You have to tell our children, hindi madali yung pera, pinaghirapan natin yan. And sometimes, children would take that for granted. Na kung minsan, we do not live within our means. Ang kaibigan na nag-share sa akin, sabi niya, Father, alam mo, gusto ko sana enroll yung anak ko sa isang school na parang napaka-exclusive. So sabi niya, it dawned upon me na hindi bala dapat kung hindi ka... Kasi for example, magkano yung bayad dito sa mga elementary students? Minsan walang bayad, but in Manila, oh my. Minsan 150,000 a year, mayroong mga tag 250,000 a year. Yung babayaran mo elementary. No? At sabi niya, gusto ko sanang i-enroll, pero sabi niya, it dawned upon me, na sabi niya, kung andyan kasama ng mga anak ko, yung mga mayayaman, yung lifestyle ng mga anak ko, gagayahin na rin yung mayayaman. Hindi lang siya kontento ng ganito. Hindi siya kontento ng ordinaryong cellphone. Apple talaga. Hindi lang siya kontento ng Converse or Word Balance. Nike talaga. Hindi na namin makakaya yun. And yan, you realize na we have to learn. And of course, we have to earn. And how we have to earn would really matter. That is why we study. Gusto natin yung magandang future ng ating mga anak. We want them to have stable job. Pero alam niyo po, ang masaklap yung mga overseas workers natin. What do we do with their money? I have been to Israel 4 times. I've been to Europe twice. This is the common experience that I have. When you meet overseas workers, you can see really the struggles in their faces. At yung kung minsan yung pinapakita nila, pagdating nila dito sa Pilipinas, ibang-iba kung andun sila sa ibang bansa. Ang front desk ng Lourdes is sa Filipina. Sa isang butik sa Milan is sa Filipina. All of these overseas workers, no? Na nga sa Ilonggo, sabi nila, kada pusod may Pinoy, kada Pinoy may pusod. Because we are everywhere. Pero ang napakalungkot, they are earned that much. Anong ginagawa natin sa pera nila? 2 years ago, I had a friend from Capiz. Tapos, yung husband niya is an engineer of Japan Airlines. Tapos nung dumating siya, sabi niya, Father, can you visit me? So, pumuntahan ko siya. Tapos nagkwentuhan kami. At tapos, yung ginawa niya, Father, nagkwento ako sa'yo. Tapos umiyak siya. Kasi bakit anong nangyari? Sabi niya, Father, tingnan mong babaeng ito. Pinakita niya sa akin, isang Filipina, napakagandang bata. Sabi niya, may family sa Father, may asawa siya, may isang anak. So, bakit ko umiyak? Sa Father, he committed suicide. Just parang 2 weeks ago, sabi niya sa akin, shooting. May iniwanan siyang suicide letter. At nung naisulat niya, nasabi niya, nag-suicide siya kasi hindi niya nakaya yung pressure niya ng family niya from the Philippines. He's from Mindanao. At sabi niya, Father, trabaho siya araw-gabi just to send something for the family. At ang masaklap daw na karanasan niya is ito, na every time the family will call her, hindi nangangamusta. Kumusta ka na dyan, anak? Hindi. The question always, kailan ka na magpapadala? No? And you know, this is one thing na parang napanindig. Sabi niya, Father, alam mo kung magkano pinapadala niya sa Philippines monthly? 100 to 150,000 pesos a month. Kulang pa. My dear brothers and sisters, our workers right now, they are marginalized all throughout the world because of this virus. May isang Filipina sa Germany lately, nabasa ko sa newspaper, talagang minura siya ng mga aliman. Napakalungkot ng naranasan nila. Ayan, ang sakot, anong ginagawa natin dito sa Philippines? Kung wala kang savings ngayon, anong mangyayari sa atin? This is one lesson that we should really learn. How we would really, we learn and we earn, of course. We earn. Kaya nga kung minsan, sasabihin mo na, magtataka ka kung minsan na yung mga hindi nakagraduate ng high school o ng college, kung minsan sila pang mga mayayaman, di ba? Kasi kung minsan, hindi nga wala silang academic education, pero meron silang financial education. Kaya may isang tatay na CPA, kada piyesta ara. No? CPA. Accountant siya. Tapos sinabihan yung anak niya, anak, balikan na dito, bakit ang baba ng grades mo sa math? Sabi niya, grabe ka talaga. Bakit kanina ko ba gumaya? Ang baba ng grades mo, CPA pa naman ako. Sabi niya, halika nga, i-review natin yung math niyo. 486 plus 967. Si Daddy naman, 3 digits na yan, hindi ko alam, may sabi ka, mapatay ka sa kamango mo. Mamatay ka sa kabubukan mo. Ito yung sabi isang bata. Sabi ng bata, Tatay, ako naman tatanong sa'yo, makikita mo yung 1,500 sa daan, anong pupulutin mo? Sabi niya, 1,000. Sira ulo ka pala eh. Bakit 1,000 ang pupulutin mo? Pwede mo nang pulutin yung dalawa eh. Mamamatay ka sa kabubukan mo. Diba? Sabi nga nila, I will never let my school interfere with my education. We can be educated anywhere. It's not just in school. Life could teach us so many valuable lessons. That is why we say experience is the best teacher. So that is why we talk about we learn, we earn, and we discern. Paano natin ginagastos yung pera natin? Ma-differentiate ba natin yung needs at ang wants? Minsan kasi akala natin needs natin, hindi naman pala eh. Kaya yung mga decisions natin, mahalaga yun. Magdi-discern tayo kasi ang sabi nga nila, there's the path of money eh. Kung may pera, ikaw, may pupuntahan yan eh. Sahod mo, paano mo ginagastos? Do you save? Do you share? Or do you invest? Kaya nga kung minsan kasi savings is not enough eh. But of course, savings could mean so much in this moment. But I believe the parable of the talents would invite all of us na it's not enough na itatago mo lang siya. You have to maximize it. Kaya nga, may assignment ako sa inyo. Take for example, this simple problem. What if you have 1 peso and you will double it every year? How much money you will have if you double the money in 20 years? Big sabihin, first year, may 2 pesos ikaw. Kasi double mo siya eh. Sa second year, may 4 pesos ikaw. Kasi ito double mo siya eh. Third year, may 8 pesos ikaw. Then 16, then 32, then 64. Piso lang yan. Pag 20 years, magkano kaya? You try it at home. You will find the exact amount. Na ito-double mo lang siya. You start with 1 peso. Magugulat kayo. More than 1 million po. In 20 years. Piso lang na. Matatalino tayo. But maybe we have wrong discernment kung paano natin ginagastos yung pera natin. Kaya sa priest, kung minsan, bakit tayo mangungutang tuwing pista? Na kung wala tayong pera, bakit tayo mangungutang? I don't think the Lord will be sad na wala kang, well, can you do not celebrate it in a very simple way? Pwede naman yan eh. Kung bibinyagan yung anak mo, isang manok lang yun. Bakit kailangan ba talagang punsyon yan? No? May isang tatay mo na tinanong ng pare, oh, Brad, binyagan na yung anak mo, prepared ka na ba? Opo, Father, prepared na po ako. Diyan na yung catering, andyan na yung invitation. Sabi niya, hindi yan ibig kong sabihin yung spiritual preparation. Sabi niya, oh, Father, mayroon ng San Miglite, mayroon ng whiskey, mayroon ng ganun, spiritual eh. Kaya, my dear brothers and sisters, may you have a very reflective moment in this second conference. And I know, as I'm sharing with you, this is the beauty of sharing is, ito din po nagre-reflect sa buhay ko. Sabi nga na, you cannot give what you do not have. This too is my struggle. I do not tell you that I did all of these things. Struggle ko pa rin ko din yan. This is a guide for all of us. But when we look at it, in the waiting, it has teach us so many valuable lessons. The value of time. May we understand the meaning of time. May we manage our time. And may we be true to our mission as human beings. What are we here for? Our talents. What's your core? What makes you different from the rest? Because we are all unique. How about your character as a person when everything else is taken away? Sabi ng isang evangelist nga, sabi niya, when you lose money, you lose nothing. If you lose health, you lose something. But if you lose your character, you lose everything. And the choices that you make, to be or not to be, is not a question, it's a decision that we should take. Then we talk of the treasures. Yes, we have to learn. Learn to value money. Learn to understand the dynamics of money. It's a good servant, but a bad master. Then you earn a living. Hard work, honesty, and you take care. Kaya nga minsan, pag talagang pinaghirapan mo, mahirap po talaga. Kung minsan, yung lifestyle natin, pag hindi natin pinaghirapan, ay talagang naman napakasaklap. Lastly, we discern, and may God continue to lead us to constantly discern where He is leading all of us. Most especially, napakarami po nating pagkakataon. May we have a meaningful Holy Week ahead. And tomorrow, we will be discussing about the wishes, the winning, another W po, the victory. Victory over virus. We talk about the vacuum, the values, and the victory. Thank you very much. Magandang gabi po sa kanilang lahat.